What's up, guys? It's late, so I'm gonna be quiet, but I decided to make this video for you guys. And if this video can help one person, it's worth making this video. So let's get right into it. I'm getting to the point. I'm 23. I'm not 30. I'm not 40. I'm 23. I'm getting sick. Let me rephrase that. I'm getting tired of wanting to fight. I always been a bigger body, so when something goes wrong, people instantly want to fight me. And like when I'm a lot younger, elementary school, middle school, that's when people want to fight you. All right, but growing up, right? Then sometimes I just lose my cool. I just feel like I want to do something to somebody. I want to harm them. Not seriously harm them at all. But instead of like arguing, I'd rather just hit somebody. And I'm only putting this out there to show you guys that this isn't the way. All right? When you're young, you don't know any better. But the older you get, fighting isn't the way. I'm not saying to get a weapon either. Sometimes you just have to let things happen. And I don't mean let somebody get hurt or let somebody do something to you. I just mean sometimes you just have to let things be. Oh, they said something to you. Oh, they did this. Oh, they broke into your car. I'm not telling you how to live. I'm saying this is how I live now. I just let it happen. I let it move on. Good things keep happening to me. When I used to do bad things, nothing good would happen. Then I started doing good things. It felt kind of good to do good stuff. And good things started happening to me. So it's perfectly natural to want to fight people or to want to hit them or to get into a physical alteration because, especially being a man, we don't really like to argue. We like everyone to be happy. Everyone gets along. But if there's one person out of the bunch that, you know, they don't get along, that's when you want to fight them. But I'm telling you guys, the older you get, the more you go through life. I'm only 23, but I know this could help people. And if you just don't do anything, all right, find somebody who does want your help, who you can talk to. But don't fight with somebody. Don't draw a weapon on somebody. Don't swing on somebody. All right? This is for the older people. All right? If you're a younger guy, you're going to figure this out. And some people figure it out the wrong ways, guys, Once you're in prison or once anything like that, it's hard to really take back a mistake you made or to change your life. That's what's kind of messed up in today's world is if you make one decision, you could pay for that for your whole life. So that's one thing I want to put out there that, emotionally you want to fight people. As a man, it's like a protective mechanism. You want to fight them. And I'm not saying if someone's trying to harm your family not to fight them. There are certain situations, and every single situation is up to you. But what I'm saying is me personally, I'm too tired to fight anymore. I'm not saying I wouldn't fight, but I will tell you this. The idea to fight or the feeling to fight or just the idea of fighting, it's lost a lot of that like glory to me or like that pride. Instead of caring about if I could F somebody up, now I care about if I could be the right person, be the good person. I used to want to F somebody up because then I thought everybody would look at me like I was better than them. Not just better than them, but I have more power than them because I F'd them up. But I realized something that God does not look at you in a good way when you fight people. God is not thinking you're awesome. You got to understand, with great power comes great responsibility. And God has the greatest power. All right. So what if God was over here always doing that stuff? It's not the way God operates. He doesn't fight people to get what he wants. He's already the creator. So anything that is good is happening through God. But let's look at God as like a role model. Does he go around fighting people to get his ways? Does he just, is he forceful? God is not forceful. Is he forcing us into a belief? No, he's saying this is out there and you are free to believe it. All right? So I'm telling you, we got to stop trying to get our way with our fists, or most recently with guns, weapons. Don't get your way with threats. Let things come to you. You can be charming. You can be nice to people. You can make people laugh. You can give people advice. You can give people tough love. But stop chasing after stuff. Stop forcing stuff. Please, the next time that you want to fight, just think how good it would feel when you walk off and go somewhere else and they're still trying to fight you, and you walk off and you go to like a safe place. And your safe place, you don't have to have a home. Go wherever you feel safe. And if you don't feel safe, just try to find somebody to talk to. Not the person that you were going to fight. Try to find somebody else to talk to. And they'll bring you to your senses. All right, because as men, we want to have power, but we forget that God gives us the greatest power of all. God has given us everything. So why would we want to cause harm to each other? The world is a big place. There's room for everybody. We don't need to always be in like a power struggle. This is mine, that's mine. No, we share everything. We're even sharing this body with the earth, is what I mean. Like, this body is of the earth. And if you think about it like this, we're even sharing our spirit from God. We have the Holy Spirit within us, and we're just sharing a piece of the Holy Spirit, the peace of God. You know, at least from my understanding, it's an easy thing you could put it with, is like, we're sharing God within us. So, guys, I'm telling you, when you're young and stuff, you get into your first fights, you might have to fight your whole life. But I'm telling you, there's another way. You might feel like you have to fight your whole life, but there's a different way, guys. What happens when the guy is way bigger than you? There's another way besides force and power. Okay, you gotta find out how to get to know people. It's kind of funny. I've realized throughout my journey that, let's say you want something, right? But you don't want it as in you're gonna like take it or rob somebody. You just want something. You see like a cool flower in a flower pot, and you're like, that's pretty cool. I kind of want to put that in my room or something, like a nice flower or like a nice plant that I could put in my room. Just a regular, like a regular sunflower or a daisy. And you really want it, right? But it's somebody else's. All right, the old me probably would have just been a jerk about it. But I realized that if you're nice to people, if you give them a piece of yourself, you put yourself, like, you wear your heart on your sleeve and you just open up to people, they're gonna do good things for you. If you say, that's my favorite flower right there, it's a beautiful one, I wish I could have one just like it, they might even just give you that. So guys, you get a lot more bees with honey. And I learned this the hard way. But I'm truly starting to come around, guys. Alright? I don't really want to fight people anymore. I already know. I already know that I'm big, that I could cause somebody harm, that I could hurt them. I could hurt their feelings. I could scare them. I could get them to go away from me, to not be around me anymore, to no longer try to say the things they're saying to me anymore, or just treat me the way they are. But guys, this is a shortcut that it's not right, guys. It's not the right way. You don't want people to be afraid of you. You want people to respect you enough to hear you out. And if they don't respect you enough to hear you out, and then you want to fight them, just walk away. You can always hear yourself out in your own head. Alright, if people don't want to hear you out, that's their problem. Sure, they might hear you out after you F them up. They don't have any choice. But what about when you walk away from them and you say no words? That is the most powerful statement right there. Is silence. Silence is the most powerful thing that you could do. You F somebody up and everybody is hooting and hollering and they think it's awesome, right? But let's say someone really wants to fight you and you just walk away, you give them no words. You're not smiling, you're not giving in to them at all. You're just walking away from them. You're telling them, this is not even worth my energy. This is not even worth who I am. Because so many good things happen to me of the grace of God, of the grace of karma. I wouldn't throw that away for nobody. I would not throw that away for any joker. Because people want to fight. People want to do negative things. But you get to a point, and I hope you get there. You might already be here. You might have already passed this point. But I'm at the point where it doesn't matter anymore. Okay, I already know that it's not my way. It's God's way. He's showing me something. So if I just try to go through life taking everything I can, He's going to not bless me at all. I'm going to live a very short life. But if you change your behaviors, because when you change your behaviors, that's when God is saying, wait a minute, this is what's easy for him to do. This is what's difficult for him to do. He's starting to pick the more difficult thing, but it's a more better long-term solution. That's when God can bless these people. He's not going to bless somebody who's going to lose their cool. He's not going to bless somebody who's going to harm other people. He's not going to bless somebody who's going to whittle away their money. And I don't mean to say he. What I mean to be saying is God. Alright, because I'm a he. Right? A woman is a she. God created us. And I was just looking for like an adjective to say about God. But I was using the word he. I meant to be saying God. I think you guys get it, but I just want to put that out there for some people. But anyways, it's like God is teaching you a lesson. And the more times you fail that lesson, the bigger the stakes are. And one day, when you pass the test, alright, and it's not just like one test. It's like once God puts you in certain situations and you pass them with flying colors, you are basically acting as Jesus, right? You're turning the other cheek. You're turning the other cheek. You're right. You're not retaliating. So God wants you to become more like Jesus. So He's gonna put you in situations to test your character, to see what you're made of. Even though He made you, He's testing you. So now, next time you want to fight somebody, think about that. That it goes more deeper. And you don't have to care about the person. When you walk away from them, you probably don't care about them at all. But you're just not showing it, and you're not letting them get under your skin. And you are not going to let them ruin your life. Alright, you can get away with fighting. But if you get in a fight in the wrong spot, in the wrong place, you're gonna get in big trouble. Gonna get in big trouble. You can get away with fighting all the time, right? But let's say you try to fight anybody that tries you. Eventually you're gonna be in the wrong place at the wrong time, either with the wrong people or just something bad could happen. All right, and I grew up reading this book called The Outsiders, right? And the book Outsiders, right? They have to fight. They have to do all this stuff. They have to fight in like a big group against another group, right? They gotta fight. They always gotta fight, right? And like growing up, I liked that book, and I was like, this is kind of relatable to me, right? You go through life and you gotta fight, and you gotta look out for other people, and you have your people that they got your back, but it's just it felt relatable to me. I just liked the book. I liked the content. But the thing is that that's why they make a book or a movie, so you can watch it, but it's not actually happening. So don't idolize these things. Don't idolize them. You just watch them and you let them go. You can apply your own understanding to it. Okay. Like in the book The Outsiders. Let me just go through it real quick, right? The same boy that stabbed the kid, um, and then they saved the group of kids in the burning building, right? He was a part of that. He still died, and that's the guy that stabbed the boy. Um, but then he went in and he saved these kids out of the burning house, and he still died. And it just relates back to God to me that like, so his friend that was with him when the boy stabbed the other boy, um, he survived from the fire, and he also went in, right? So it has these reoccurring themes. So it has a theme of murder, but then it's like a turnaround where now these boys are doing something good, and they were just acting in self-defense. They felt they they were almost being killed, so the boy stabbed the other boy, right? These are things that do happen, right? They happen to people, right? It's a relatable theme. But look at what happened to the boy that stabbed him. He passes away. Then there's another boy who is sort of like the dark character named, I want to say Daryl. Starts with the D for sure. I think it is Daryl. Um, but anyways, this guy's like a gunslinger. Just kind of like he's the only one who's actually from like New York City, right? He immigrated from New York City. Now he's here. He's got guns. So he didn't decide to save those boys. He stayed in the car, and he was criticizing them for going after the boys to save them out of the burning building, the children. And he was all mad when the boy died, right? So it's kind of like the boy sacrificed himself for the young children, right? It's got that theme of sacrifice, right? Where, um, so the boy's name, oh man, um, don't quote me on the names, right? But so from The Outsiders, right? The boy who stabbed the other boy, right? So he sinned. Moving forward, he gave his life for those children, to like save them. So it kind of shows. It's a very interesting thing that it shows, but you know it's interesting how he did pass away and he murdered somebody. And the boy, I think it's Daryl. It starts with a D. He's like a gunslinger, and after his friend died, he went out and robbed the store, and the police were chasing him. And then I think he started shooting at the police, and the police shot him, so he died too, right? But so Soda Pop is that third boy, that one that had helped with the burning building and the children, And it was also there when his friend stabbed the other boy, right? So Soda Pop, he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Uh, but he's not actually he's not the trigger puller, right? And he is the only one who survived out of the three. He survived, he lived, and he had quite a lot to after that. He had quite a lot that he went through and a lot to live for. um and that's the thing, is that it kind of shows that idea of Christ. That So this boy Soda Pop went through all this, good or bad, whatever it is. He went through all this, and now he has to come back out with his basically one of his best friends passed away, and one of the older kids he looked up to passed away. And that just shows that people that are you know so there's a few different kind of people, right? There's people who they start going to church, they get into Christ, they get into God, and that's a beautiful thing. But I've noticed another kind of person where they just go through a lot, and they just are believers of God. When bad things happen to them, they're believers of God. They have faith, they pray. So you get what I'm saying? How there's a few different sides to it, but one side we have just the churchgoer, right? They get into the church. On the other side, you have another kind of religious person that has kind of lived this aspect that we're learning in the church through the Holy Bible. There's another kind of breed that have lived through this, just like how Jesus Christ, he would go out and he would do all the things throughout his day. He had that side too, and he's the Son of God. But he had that side too, where experience. That's the main reason we're here. The Holy Bible is a beautiful thing, but you have to apply that with your life experience, because you're going to experience the two overlap. The two are basically identical. You're going to go through hard times, and then the good times are going to come. And think about it. So his name was Soda Pop. Actually, hold on. I think it might have been Pony Boy. But anyways, think about it. After his two friends died, what do you think is going through his head, or what he's thinking about? And he's probably thinking like, where is my life headed? But then, right, he got the Medal of Honor for saving the children. He didn't get kicked away, or he didn't have to go to the halfway home. He got to stay and live with his brothers. You get what I'm saying? How you're going to be put through a lot. But right at the end of that tunnel is where everything good is, right? And God will bless you. He's only trying to build you up. He's only trying to make you stronger. But don't confuse self-growth, having self-power, with being powerful and needing to fight people and show your power against them. No, we battle of wits. We battle of a chess match. We don't battle with our fists anymore. And some people do. But I think you get what I'm trying to say, is that the smarter you can become, even if you're angry. I'm not angry. But even if you are angry, it's better to be more of a chess player than to just take your anger out on somebody. Alright, speak your mind. Go ahead. Say what you got to say to people. Get it out, right? But if you feel like you need to actually hit somebody, you need to channel that anger in like a chess match. Pretend your life is like a chess match, and instead of using that anger to hit that guy, use it to move your piece. Move your piece. Keep advancing your piece throughout life. Take that anger and channel it into becoming a better person, a better speaker. Channel it into it's hard to tell you guys what to do, right? I don't want to tell you guys what to do, but I'm going to tell you what I do. And I channel everything I feel. I channel it. And sometimes people are thinking like, why are you ignoring me? Oh, why did you say this? Well, let me tell you what. If I feel like I need to say something to you, then I need to say something to you. But if I feel like I need to ignore you, then I need to ignore you. But it's not this thing where I have to be this person. I have to be. No. If I'm sitting here and I'm just like feeling disrespected by somebody, like I said, I probably used to wanting to fight them, but now I'm gonna just ignore them, and they're gonna get upset, and they're gonna try to say, "Why are you ignoring me?" Why? Tell them I'd probably beat your ass if I didn't ignore you. Excuse my language. Um, I'd probably f you up if I started talking to you. You get what I'm saying? How I started taking all of my anger and channeling it into something new, and good things started happening. It's like replacing the anger with happiness. And you know, it's not just this magical idea. This is something anybody can do. But it takes these small steps, like the ones I'm talking about at the very beginning, where it's like, I'm tired of fighting. Well, a lot of people will hear that and probably think like, they'll probably cut my video off right away and say, you're tired of fighting? Like, who is this goofy? Let me just turn this off. But if you actually hear me out, the reason I'm so tired of fighting, okay, a lot of people probably relate to this, and even to a further extent than I relate to this. But let me say this, right? I'm tired of fighting because I've done it so much. And I'm not the biggest fighter. Honestly, I'm more of a lover. Like I said, I am a big body, and I felt like I'm sick of fighting. I'm sick of fighting. All right, there's a time and a place. Okay? I'll say only if you're protecting your loved ones, your family, your children, or just women in general, children in general, right? In a way, that's an act of sacrifice, right? But let's say it's just you and another guy, and or just other situations where it's not like you actually need to protect people. It's more like you just need to like show out, and that's where God will not be happy. And I'm not here to tell you how to live, but I am telling you that. And one thing